Good morning again. I begin with gratitude here on day 2 of the AIA Conference on Architecture and Design. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being with us today. Without you, our work at AIA would not be possible. Thank you, and thank you. As many of you know, I'm the AIA's 100th president. The number 100 often represents a new beginning or a shift from the past. As I stand before you today, I urge you to consider what kind of future you wish to see for our profession and for our world. We are currently at a turning point. The American Institute of Architects was founded in 1857, which was 81 years after the United States declared independence. Although AIA is growing rapidly all over the world today, we are still very much a part of the great American experiment. Back then, according to President George Washington, the establishment of our new government seemed to be the last great experiment for promoting human happiness. Yesterday, we heard from Dr. Arthur Brooks about the importance of happiness. Part of our happiness comes from fulfillment in the work that we do. As architects, we have the potential to do the most fulfilling work imaginable. That's why we chose this profession, this lifestyle. I would submit that the profession of architecture, like America, is still a great experiment. People have been designing and building structures since the beginning of time, but architecture became a true profession in the US in 1897, when Illinois was the first state to adopt licensing laws for architects. Over the past 127 years, the profession of architecture has ebbed and flowed in terms of respect and influence. The position of chief architect was very prevalent in the US in the early 20th century, and then the position largely disappeared from our cities. We're working on getting them back. The salary of the architects has also declined over time relative to other professionals in medicine, law, and engineering. Essentially, where we are today is an experiment that needs to recalibrate. At this very moment, the profession of architecture is at a turning point. It is up to us to decide whether or not things will improve for future generations. We get to decide if we are truly going to take climate action and design excellence seriously. If we are going to adjust our business practices to get the compensation of the architect in better alignment with the cost of architectural education and the lasting value that we create for our clients. We get to choose if we will leverage the power of artificial intelligence to enhance our work instead of threatening our very existence. It is up to us to decide. We will make the choice regarding whether our profession thrives in the future or if it just continues to struggle for relevance and respect. We are at a turning point. So what are we going to do about it? How can we ensure that we are turning in the direction of progress? How can we declare our independence from market forces that devalue our work? This is something that I've been thinking about since I ran for AIA president in 2022. In 23, I spoke with countless stakeholders about this very issue as I began to plan for my year as president. Here we are in 2024, where I have called for more. That is more money, more members, and more mission. Now that I'm about halfway through my presidential year, it has become clear to me that what we really need more of in our great experiment is courage. We need more courage to advocate for our planet and for ourselves, to embrace diversity, and to cultivate the next generation of architects. What do I mean by more courage? I mean doing what needs to be done, even when it's scary or when the outcome is unknown. For many people, even pursuing a career in architecture required a great deal of courage. I know it did for me. I decided to become an architect when I was 11, just a kid. Someone told me not to do it because there isn't enough money in it. And someone else told me that it's a very difficult profession for people who look like me. With this feedback in mind, I remained steadfast in my ambition and learned that those people were not wrong. But I wanted to help rebuild Detroit. I grew up at a time when my hometown was really struggling with disinvestment and the building stock was being flattened left and right. Leaving behind my earlier ambition of becoming a doctor, I selected architecture because I believed it had the power to heal entire communities. I still believe this today. But once I entered the profession, I realized that we have our own healing to do because we have a diversity problem. The architects that exist in the US today do not fully reflect the public that we are charged with protecting. Only 25% of architects are women, 2% of architects are Black, and less than 0.5% of architects are Black women. That equates to just over 600 Black women in the US total. I was number 295. There's research that shows that diverse teams are the strongest. As a profession, we need to strengthen ourselves in multiple dimensions, and I'm certain that diversity is one way to help us get there. But embracing diversity requires courage. We need courage from the majority to ensure that there's intentionality in including people from different perspectives. We need leaders to foster cultures of belonging in academia and the workplace. We also need people from the minority groups to have courage to step into environments that weren't necessarily intended for them. I can say from personal experience that it will be uncomfortable at times, but it is the necessary work to make everyone better. Some of you may know that prior to my AIA presidency, I served as National President of NOMA, or the National Organization of Minority Architects. In that role, my job was to help improve the diversity of our profession. There was one particular meeting where I was the only person of color sitting at one of the tables during the lunch break. I was wearing my normal business attire with my NOMA pen. I offered a warm greeting to everyone who was already seated. The very first question that I was asked was, "So, are you part of the entertainment?" For some reason, there was confusion about my presence, and these are the experiences one encounters when you don't look like everyone else, when you don't quite blend in. As uncomfortable as that may have been, I calmly replied that I was there representing NOMA. That was 5 years ago. Today, I stand before you representing AIA. And no, I am not here to entertain you. I appreciate the applause. I'm going to go back, though, because there's like a point where I really needed to. But thank you. I do appreciate that. But no, I am not here to entertain you. I'm here to call you to action. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to tell you that you are worthy of more. I don't care what you look like, where you live, or how old you are. If you're an architect, your work matters to the world. Your work should not be given away for free. You can applause for that. You have earned the right to design a better, healthier, more sustainable, and resilient world. All you have to do is be courageous enough to claim your rights. One of the greatest challenges of our time is the climate crisis. We must act with urgency and precision to address global warming. Not soon, but now. Earlier this year, I spoke at the Buildings and Climate Global Forum in Paris to urge leaders from around the world to entrust architects with helping to advance climate action. I promoted the Chief Architect Initiative as a way to help city leaders tap into the talent and experience of architects to solve some of our most complex problems. These include climate change, housing affordability, public safety, and health disparities. We are the ones that the world has been waiting for. We must first have the courage to take action. In the famous words of James Baldwin, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. Let's face it together. Let's have the courage. Let's make this great experiment work for us, work for our colleagues back home, and work for the communities that we serve. We must find the courage to speak up on behalf of our present conditions so that we can better protect future generations. This is why we strongly encourage everyone here to not only be an AIA member, but to engage at the local level, connect with AIA advocacy at the national level, and donate to the important work being done by the Architects Foundation around the globe. Not only do we need greater courage to act on our own behalf, we need more courage to care for others. That is my hope for the future of our profession. In our roles as part of the great experiment that is architecture, here at this turning point in our profession, may we find within ourselves the deeply needed courage to care more. #more in 24. Thank you.